Hello everyone, this is Dr. Abhinav, and in this video today we'll be seeing about the UPSC CMS 2021 personal interview questions that are expected from the medicine panel. So the questions that I have given here are basically collected from the previously asked questions in 2020 personal interview, as well as I've also included some questions which are very much expected to be asked in this year's interview. So don't miss any part of the video. Watch it completely because you might end up having any questions that are given in this. Okay, so let's start. So this in this video, I've arranged the questions according to each system because basically in medicine usually they tend to ask what is your specialty of choice. So you may answer any one of these systems as your specialty. So basically questions will be revolving around that system only in the medicine part, so make sure you answer wisely. So to start with the cardiology, if you say you wanted to become a cardiologist, they might be asking any of these questions. So they can ask, where do you see water hammer pulse? Where is the Corrigan's water hammer pulse? So it's you should answer about the how the pulse is felt. You should also tell where it is felt. That is in aortic regurgitation, and you should also describe the pulse. So they can also ask, tell me about the conditions causing systolic murmurs. Remember our mnemonic MRS, ASS. So you can tell those conditions. Then they can ask, how is hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy different from dilated cardiomyopathy? So you can tell the differences about systolic dysfunction, the diastolic dysfunction, and decrease filling, decrease in output, and all those kind of differences. And then they can also ask causes of ST elevation. So we should be telling the ST elevation, MI, acute pericarditis. You can also tell hypothermia and all other causes that you know. Then they can ask about BLS. But one thing important here, don't when they ask about BLS, don't just jump into checking the pulse and respiration, checking the respiration and the pulses. You should be telling about the checking the scene safety, calling for help. All those steps are also equally important as the upcoming steps. So make sure you don't miss the initial few steps, which are usually given in the guidelines. So this question is probably expected this year. So please do learn about the BLS, the ratio of CPR and breaths. So the 30 is to 2, 1 rescuer, 2 rescuer breaths, and all those things. So then the most frequently asked question when you say you wanted to become a cardiologist is that how will you manage acute MI? So you should start telling from the diagnosis, that is from the ECG part. You should also tell about the loading dose. So you can then tell about the management. You can also talk about PCI stenting, cabbage procedure, and all those things. So then they can also ask you about management of acute decompensated heart failure. So make sure you know the mechanism of action of Lasix, the side effects, and oxygen, giving oxygen, and when to give beta blockers and when not to give beta blockers, and all those things. So whenever you say about any drug, make sure you try to explain about it, explain the mechanism of action and the side effects, so that the panel members gets impressed about your way of answering the questions. Then they can also ask you about the complications of hypertension. So when they ask you something kind of a general question, make sure you go system wise. So complication of hypertension start from the brain, tell about the strokes, tell about the bleeding conditions, and then come to the eye, tell about the eye findings in hypertension. Then you can tell about the cardiology, heart changes, left concentric hypertrophy, and all those kind of things about the output. Then you can talk about the renal system. You can tell about the nephrosclerosis part, and you can also talk about accelerated hypertension, hypertensive emergency, hypertensive urgency, all those kind of complications commonly seen in the hypertension. Make sure you also know how to manage the hypertensive urgency and hypertensive emergency, the IV, giving drugs in IV. So now, if you say that you want to become a neurologist, these are your questions that probably might be asked. So, what are the newer treatment options for migraine? You can talk about this a lot. You can keep telling about the botulinum toxin, the supraorbital transcutaneous pacemakers. So, sorry, not pacemakers. So, you can also talk about the newer drugs that have been coming. So, whenever you talk about this, you also make sure you tell a little bit about the first line drugs, the prophylactic drugs, and all those kind of things. So, how is a seizure different from epilepsy? You should be answering this question wisely. So, read the updated new guidelines, whatever it is given. So, then you should also be answering how you should also be knowing how to differentiate lower motor neuron lesion from upper motor neural lesion, the in which you can see clonus, in which you can see fasciculation, and all those kind of things. And then they can ask about the Guillain-Barré syndrome. Make sure you know about the ascending paralysis and the treatment options like IVIG, all those kind of things. So this is also an important question. They can ask about diseases causing dementia. You can talk about Alzheimer's dementia, Parkinson's, Lewy body dementia, and all other different types of dementias. And make sure you know how to differentiate one from the other. So you can they can also ask about treatment of Parkinson's disease. So whenever they ask about the treatment, make sure you mm, tell them in the group wise, category of drug wise. So you take one category of drugs, tell about all the drugs, then go to the next category of drugs, tell about it, and then finally tell about the surgical deep brain stimulation maneuvers and all those kind of things. So whenever they ask about the treatment, make sure you also talk a little bit about the prognosis of the treatment. So they can in neurology mostly they can ask about the management of stroke. So whenever they ask about the management of stroke, don't immediately talk about the management of ischemic stroke. Start from how will you receive the patient. So what is the time, golden time, and when to send for CT, how to rule out hemorrhagic stroke, how to manage if it is a hemorrhagic stroke, if it is a ischemic stroke, how will you manage, and talk in detail. So this is also an important trick that I have to tell here. So the interview runs around for like 30 minutes. So whenever you tend to answer in detail, so the number of questions that will be asked to you is less, and at the same time you will be giving a good impression of answering questions in a better way. What is paraplegia, paraparesis, semiplegia, hemiparesis? What is diplegia, quadriplegia? So make sure you know the difference of these small things. The next important thing, if you want to become a chest physician or uh, so you want to do in respiratory medicine, so these are the questions for you. So they can ask about the newer drugs used for TB and their regimens. That is the bedaquiline, delamanid, britomanid, and their regimens used in XDR-TB, MDR-TB, how many months, intensive phase, maintenance phase, and all those things. How will you manage acute severe asthma? Make sure you start from the oxygen nebulization and then steroids, magnesium sulfate, and non-invasive ventilation, and all those things. So these questions, this question they can ask you. Tell me about COVID and ARDS. So how is COVID causing ARDS? You can talk about the cytokine storm and all those kind of things. So how will you manage pulmonary thromboembolism? So this is also an important question. You should know how to diagnose it initially. So you should know the findings to diagnose it, and then how about using the heparin or if any surgical intervention is required. I can also ask you about the IVC filters, which are upcoming treatments in developing countries. So steps in intubating a patient. Now, this is a very expected question to be asked this year because of the COVID. So how will you intubate? So you should start from the initial steps till you should also talk about the size of intubating tube, ET tube used in males and females, and the Macintosh blade and all those kind of things. Also, you should be going step by step how to intubate. Different modes of ventilator also can be asked. You should talk about the SIMV, ACMV modes, and all other modes. So your experience in managing post-COVID lung fibrosis. So you can tell about incentive spirometry, then Intina tablets, and all other kind of things. So make sure you learn about this, and also a little bit of mucormycosis. So if you want to become a gastrointestinologist, and so you should know about these questions. Uh, how to interpret LFTs? So you should know how to what will be elevated in alcoholic liver disease, what will be elevated in other liver disease. You should know about the bilirubin levels, when it is elevated, what to do. So all those kind of things. So then the next thing they can ask you is that uh, prevention of hepatitis B and C. So you can talk about the vaccines and about screening and blood transfusion and all those kind of things. So liver cirrhosis and portal hypertension management. Make sure you know about the medical management in detail, even if it is very little. So you should know about it properly. So what are the types of hepatorenal syndrome? Type 1, type 2. So H. pylori therapy regimens, the triple, quadruple therapy regimens. How will you treat a patient with H. pylori? How will you diagnose it? So Crohn's disease features, and how to manage the acute flare-ups of Crohn's disease, and those kind of things. So if you want to become an endocrinologist, so what will be the differences between SI, and diabetes insipidus? So you can talk about the water deprivation test, water loading test, and the main differences in the osmolality. So then they can ask about diabetes mellitus, oral hypoglycemic agents and its mechanisms. Make sure new and new drugs are coming. So you should know about the mechanisms and most importantly, side effects of each drug. How will you manage DKA? So this is also a commonly asked question. So you should talk about the fluids, IV insulin and insulin drip, managing the hypokalemia, so acidosis and all those things you should know. Now, this is a very, very important and very much expected question. If your question revolves around the diabetes mellitus topic, so the new drugs SGLT2 inhibitors, the dapagliflozin, canagliflozin, so these drugs are now increasingly used in cardiac and renal disorders also. So make sure you know about the advantages of these drugs in cardiac and renal disorders also. So how will you diagnose Cushing syndrome? You should know about the dexamethasone suppression test, the low dose, high dose suppression, and all those things. And then how will you come to a diagnosis? So how will you treat hypothyroidism in pregnancy? Basically know about the surgical interventions and basic thyroid function test laboratories. So other miscellaneous questions that can be asked is management of gouty arthritis. So initial management insights and allopurinol, when to use febuxostat, allopurinol dosing can be asked. Tell me about HIV first line drug regimens used in India. So you can talk about lamivudine and tenofovir regimen, and what are the alternating regimens, when will the alternating regimens be used, why it is used, side effects, and all those things. How will you calculate the anion gap in ABG? This is an easy question. Tell me about malaria prophylaxis. So first 6 weeks, what will you do? For more than 6 weeks, what will you do? CSF analysis of bacterial, viral, and TB meningitis. So know when to, what are the indications of doing a lumbar tap, and how will you differentiate these conditions? So we can be asked about the Jones criteria and rheumatic fever prophylaxis. And this is also a frequently asked question, management of snake bite, because most of them would have been posted in PHC. So you should be knowing management of snake bite. And then this is a tricky question that I have given here, management of kerosene poisoning. So whenever we say poisoning, we tend to go with the stomach wash. But you know that you should know that in kerosene poisoning, stomach wash is avoided. So these are some of the previously asked questions and the expected questions for UPSC CMS 2021 personal interview in the medicine topics. So make sure you know the answers of all these questions, You can also share your answers in the comment section. So that's all for medicine. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll be seeing you in another video. Thank you.